Who is the biggest killer in history? History knows the names of tyrants and warlords. They acted with malice, and we know their score. But what if the deadliest man in history was not a villain? What if he was a genius? A man who simply wanted to make your car run quieter. This is Thomas Midgley Jr. He was one of the greatest chemists of his time. A man who twice offered the world an ideal solution. And twice, that solution became a curse that permanently changed the chemical composition of our planet. In his story, there is no malice. There is only a dark lesson that innovation without responsibility is perhaps the most dangerous force on Earth. This is the lead age of our failure, 1921 year. The automotive industry is in crisis. The problem, engine knock. It's a loud, destructive sound that limits power and durability. General Motors gave their brilliant young chemist Midgley a task. Find an additive that will solve this problem forever. And after years of searching, hundreds of tests, he found what was instantly called liquid gold, Tetraethyl Lead, or TEL. The knock vanished. Engines roared to life. Midgley was a hero who saved the industry. But TEL was volatile lead. Even the ancient Romans knew lead was a potent neurotoxin. At the factories where TEL was produced, workers went mad. They screamed from hallucinations. They dropped dead. Workers nicknamed the facility the House of the Demons. In 1924 year, Midgley himself suffered severe lead poisoning. He took leave. He knew the truth. But when he returned, he was called to prove the product's safety. And Midgley committed an act that became the very definition of the ethical blunder and the hidden truth. In front of a crowd of reporters, he publicly poured TEL onto his hands and inhaled the fumes for a full minute, claiming he could do it every day without harm. This was a lie. It was a demonstrative, arrogant cover-up. GM deceptively named the additive simply Ethyl to keep the word lead out of sight. Sales soared. For decades, leaded gasoline poisoned the air of every street, every schoolyard. Scientists now estimate that lead from exhaust fumes reduced the IQ of entire generations. It is estimated to have quietly ended the lives of tens of thousands annually. A brilliant invention became a silent global catastrophe. But Midgley's story does not end with lead. He was called to solve another problem. The explosive and toxic refrigerants being used in early household refrigerators. His solution, CFCs, or Freon. It was a brilliant chemical trick, a gas that seemed perfectly safe and inert. To prove it, Midgley stepped on stage and did it again. He inhaled the Freon and dramatically breathed it out onto a lit candle, extinguishing it, proving the gas wouldn't burn and was seemingly harmless. Freon saved millions from food poisoning and house fires. It was a technology that saved lives, but ultimately stripped away our freedom to breathe. Decades later, scientists discovered that the inert Freon rising into the upper atmosphere was destroying the ozone layer, the planet's protective shield. Midgley, the man who gave us cars and fridges, created two of the biggest environmental disasters of the 20th century. Thomas Midgley Jr. died, ironically, due to his third invention, a complex system of ropes and pulleys he designed for himself to get out of bed after contracting polio. He became entangled and suffocated. His story is not the failure of one man. It is the dark lesson for all of us today who believe in endless progress. When we ask, does it work? We forget to ask, What is the true long-term price of this success? The brilliant inventions, unchecked by ethics, are most likely to become the failed futures. Thank you for exploring this dark chapter of innovation with the failed futures. If you are interested in the hidden costs of progress, the forgotten experiments, and the grim side of popular science, subscribe now. We uncover the truth in the chapters of history where official records prefer silence. We'll see you in the past.